G'day guys, and welcome to this business management lesson. In today's lesson, we're looking at key knowledge point 322. That is Unit 3, Area of Study 2, and the second key knowledge point for this area of study. Today specifically, we're looking at the third of three motivation theories, the 4-drive theory proposed by Lawrence and Nohria. The 4-drive theory describes that there are 4 drives, or motivators, that contribute to the motivation of an individual as they respond to an event. The 4 drives direct humans' responses, the way they perceive events, and certainly can be described as contributing to motivation and engagement. We know that it's important that employees within a business are motivated and engaged because motivated and engaged employees are more productive and efficient. And if we can determine the contributing factors that will describe or influence perception, action, cognition, reasoning, and memory, then we can build an environment in which our employees will act and perceive and reason and remember the way that we want them to, productively and efficiently. The 4 drives, as described, are the drive to acquire, the drive to bond, the drive to comprehend or learn, depending on what your teacher prefers, but ultimately both will be accepted in an exam scenario, and the drive to defend. I like the drive to comprehend as terminology because I find that A, B, C, D, acquire, bond, comprehend, defend, is easier to remember for a lot of students. But it might be that your teacher prefers the drive to learn as terminology because technically that is the way that it was described in the literature when the 4-drive theory was first proposed. Just check what your teacher prefers and go with that. That's the safe bet. The way this theory was described is that when someone's drive to acquire is targeted in an environment, they will be motivated. This might be that an employee has the opportunity to acquire more responsibility through a promotion. It might be that the employee has an opportunity to get a biscuit from the break room. Whatever it is, if there's the opportunity for the employee to get something, they'll be a bit motivated to do that. When someone's drive to bond is targeted, that might mean that they have an opportunity to build relationships or to continue to work on relationships or just to enjoy the experience of having meaningful relationships. Perhaps they're chatting to a friend. Perhaps they're thinking about going to a birthday party that will be fun because they've got friends there. That's their drive to bond, and they'll be a bit motivated by that. The drive to comprehend or the drive to learn describes an individual's opportunity to increase their skills and knowledge, to build experience. When someone has the opportunity to build on their skills and knowledge, they'll be a bit motivated to do that. And similarly, the drive to defend describes an environment in which losing something is a possibility. It could be the loss of responsibility or quite literally the potential of damage to the car if you don't drive safely, or the potential of just losing your keys or your wallet. I think we've all had that experience where you pat your pockets to check that you've got your phone and your wallet and your phone's not in there and your heart rate suddenly jumps up because your drive to defend is being targeted because you might have lost your phone and then no, it's in your other pocket or it's on the table in front of you, whatever it is. It's a situation I find myself in all too often. This theory says that when just your drive to defend is being targeted, you're as motivated as whenever any one of these drives is being targeted. The theory goes on to explain that in an environment where your drive to acquire and your drive to comprehend are targeted, you'll be more motivated than if it was just one or the other. Perhaps you have the opportunity to learn something new about business management, and you have the opportunity to acquire recognition and reward through good grades on a SAC, and perhaps that is enough to motivate you more than if that sort of formalized assessment process wasn't part of the program. You might have the opportunity to build relationships or continue to work on your meaningful relationships. And also there's the potential of loss. Certainly when one of your friends has been upset, you might feel particularly motivated to go in and defend your friend. Not only are you preventing loss from someone you care about, but the aspect of your relationship builds your motivation in that scenario. This theory describes that when all 4 drives are being targeted at once, someone is at their most motivated. They're most engaged. They'll be their most productive and efficient. A business manager can use this theory to implement scenarios in which people have rewards that they could be looking to acquire, when they can be provided with an opportunity to build relationships in the workplace, when the development of new knowledge, skills, and experience are available. And certainly there are consequences. There's accountability to keep people aware of their need to defend their position. Then in this environment, people will be the most motivated. There are different strategies a manager can implement specifically within the workplace to help target someone's drive to acquire. Rewards, recognition, responsibility, or increased pay are just some examples. Remunerative considerations like the provision of a company car or a corner office might also come into play in that scenario. Certainly, if you're trying to assist your employees to be more motivated by targeting their drive to bond, much like Maslow's love and belonging level, we've got social interactions, team building, open plan offices. The recognition that might come through the acquire might also help people feel valued by the business. Certainly, managers that show an interest in their employees' personal lives are going to build sort of trust and familiarity and a relational environment that wouldn't exist otherwise. Certainly, the opportunity to learn new knowledge and skills, to have new experiences, to participate in training and development is one way that managers can do this. Certainly, you might want to consider something like job rotation, where individuals within your business work in different departments over time to build new skills and knowledge and develop a overall understanding of how each of the different elements of your business work together to achieve objectives as a whole. And certainly, accountability and a system of holding employees to account when they're perhaps not working to the standard you want. Perhaps your business regularly conducts performance reviews and there are penalties in place for employees that don't meet the minimum required standard, would certainly keep employees aware of their need to defend their position and their ongoing employment. And perhaps that would encourage them to work harder rather than slack off when they might be tempted to do so. In summary, for this key knowledge point, Lawrence and Nohria described 4 drives that act as motivators for humans, and they work on any task. The 4-drive theory suggests that these drives can be targeted one at a time or more than one at a time, and when all 4 are targeted, a person is more motivated. When all 4 drives are activated at once, an individual is experiencing maximum motivation. They are what we would say is the most engaged and motivated, which theoretically would mean they are the most productive and efficient. And in that way, we as business managers should be taking notice of theories like the 4-drive theory. That's all for today. See you next time.